when we think about, the inflation problem that we're facing, the Federal Reserve and all the central banks met up yesterday at the ECB forum, and they were like, inflation is our primary goal. And they're willing to do a lot, it seems, to fight inflation. And you recently tweeted that it's the level of inflation that really matters, not necessarily the speed at which it's declining. So what are your thoughts, considering nominal spending, considering everything that you just said relative to the economy, relative to what the Federal Reserve said yesterday? What are your thoughts on the current inflation situation?
Yeah, when you look at the US in particular, there's been a fair amount of cheering that headline inflation has come down and that core inflation is a little lower than where it had peaked. And the same, to some extent, exists across most other developed economies like Europe and the UK, Canada, and Australia. But just because we've moderated from, say, 8% inflation to 5 to 6% inflation, by no means that the central banks have succeeded in meeting their mandate. I'll take a very simple example. We got data out today across Europe about individual country inflation, where we're seeing core inflation and headline inflation in the 5 or 6% range. Whether that was a slight surprise higher or a slight surprise lower, who cares? The ECB's mandate is 2%, and inflation is 5 or 6%. Okay, that doesn't work. Right. And because of that, what it suggests is that these central banks will continue to have to deliver relatively tight monetary policy and tighter monetary policy to achieve their goals, given that inflation remains well above their mandate.